I'm down.
Welcome back to the 100 Millionaires podcast. My name is Walter Murillo. I'm hanging out with my best friends, Michael Shine and Mitch Jorsky. Mike, bring us in.
Massive income from passive income, Walter.
Mitch, how do we get there?
You got to organize and collect.
So the point is not to work, but we hung out all weekend long at the 100 Millionaires Summit, 4 days straight. And we worked pretty hard, didn't we?
Yeah, especially you. Nice job.
It was a lot of fun though. Like we had over 200 people in attendance. We had some millionaires, we had multimillionaires, we had billionaires on the stage, and I thought it was cool being able to hang out with Vinny for the first time. You know, having dinner.
Yeah,
with
he's
him, the
amazing.
VIPs.
Yeah.
What was your take on Vinny, Mike?
Just I've actually seen Vinny before, but now that I've known him even better, he's just so inspiring. And I just love his attitude of positivity, which sounds sort of like a throwaway, but when you're in the presence of Vinny, that positivity just radiates, and you can just see that when they say to be on a positive vibration, you'll attract more positivity and everything in your life comes to you. When you hang around Vinny, you get it even more. So that was my big takeaway that I'd love to emulate. I do it. I was like, shit, he's stealing my thunder with his speech. He's so positive all the time. It's so amazing. But yeah, great to be around him. And he even gave me a kiss.
I also got a Vinny kiss. Handshake, high five,
Man,
selfies.
I messed up. I didn't get a kiss. I got to step up my game.
So, Mitch, did you get to stick around for Bill Allen's talk? Did you get to hear his speech?
Of course. Yeah, no, Bill Allen was great. I mean, Bill Allen and Sam, I mean, I mentioned both of them in my talk because things they were saying was like wrapped right into, it was great. Like they dropped gems.
Yeah, Sam.
I've been telling people who had to leave early, like Kim Rodriguez and stuff like that, that you have to go back and listen to Bill and listen to Sam, and of course, listen to the Crypto Cat. But Bill and Sam, amazing guests, amazing, inspiring. Yeah.
I got word the team will be sending out the videos tonight to us. So I don't know if it's all the videos. I don't know. There's like a terabyte of content.
Oh yeah,
that they have to get over to us. So
oh yeah,
that's awesome.
So, as much as we can get on, I see you, David. What's up, brother? As much as we can get on, I want to put that as quickly as possible onto Alchemist Nation. That way, anybody who missed or had to leave early can like catch, especially Sam Prim, Bill Allen, Mitch Jorsky. Like those last talks were epic. And not to like, give myself too much credit, but the business plan at the end is by far the most powerful business plan that I have ever worked with. And it's short enough where it's simple enough where somebody can actually go implement it, but you can actually raise capital off of that. And I was very happy with everybody who was in attendance taking action on it. So the event started.
Whole weekend was amazing. It was just Sunday was so great. It was just such a surprise that you had such strong people on day 3. It was just really good. The whole thing, start to finish, was awesome.
We didn't stop, right? Like it's like, that's the worst part about some events is day 3 is kind of like a throwaway day. Like
right.
I've heard speakers say this. Oh, day 3 is like whatever, you just kind of put stuff in. But for us, we're like we're wild, like down to the 5 o'clock.
Day three is fire. I mean, you kidding me? Between Bill and Sam, like. That was ridiculous. That was money. Like I said, I mean, literally, I mentioned them and added them into my talk, which obviously was not planned because I'd never seen them speak before. But the stuff they were saying was so spot on and played into, just investing in general. And they were awesome. I saw both of them. I was glad. I missed a lot of people this weekend, obviously, being busy and working and networking. But I was so glad Sunday was quieter for that reason because I got to see both of them and they crushed it.
That was the other benefit, right? The networking. So I don't get to network too hard when I'm on stage, obviously, but I get to kind of connect with everybody. On Sunday night, Marco Kozlowski was like, hey, come down to my bar. He owns 8 bars in Orlando. He's like, come down to my Halloween bar and my 1-Up bar, which is like an 80s kind of just like all the fun stuff from the 80s. And it's like a speakeasy. So I go in. And I invited all of the Alchemist Mastery students, like everybody who signed up for Alchemist Mastery. I invited them. And then last minute, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Everybody who's still here, you can come too. And so I get in and everybody is there from like each of the bars as I'm walking through. It's like I see Alchemist, like everybody from the event is like there, like what is her name? Elizabeth Miller, like Dorina was there, Gary Gluck, like Ken
And they were
Hoffman,
rocking
like,
the lanyards too. I saw the lanyards on a lot
oh,
of them.
lanyards were still in there.
Nice.
Actually Ken Hoffman wasn't there, but we had man, Peter, like everybody was there, and it was
Yeah.
it was just epic because now I'm seeing them all at play. They're playing hockey, like they're doing all this like foosball and things, and like just seeing everybody like really encouraging each other, talking about deals, like partnering up and saying, yeah, we should do a deal together. I was
Nice.
like, man, like this is
I'm-
a cool group.
Dude, and that's another reason, going to these events, just that residual effect. I mean, I'm analyzing, I was analyzing 2 deals before we jumped on the call that basically were brought to my attention at the summit. One's a big commercial property. And then another one's, just like a 5-unit, and it's like in each town I invest in. And I was like, oh, wow, these are interesting opportunities. So
Nice job. Yeah.
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 I'll
I
probably
think we
pick
even,
your guys'
I
brains
think we even
later in the
saw it
week.
closing during the event. That was great.
There was, oh my God, Mike, that was epic. So everybody who goes and sees this later when we put out the recording, so we did not plan a closing at the summit, or at least I did not plan a closing at the summit.
No,
I'm in the middle of the talk, names on deeds, and like right in the middle, Steve comes running up on stage, says, "Hey, no, I had Steve on stage. I literally had
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah,
on
you were
stage.
calling for him. He was in the other room. We were signing.
Because one of my slides is his house with the Christmas lights, right? So I have that slide up. I'm talking to Steve on stage, and Mike runs up with a deed, with an actual like contract to
Yeah.
close.
document. Yeah, that was actually well, full disclosure, if my talk was not on Saturday, we would have done the closing up on stage. That was Ken and Melanie and Steve said we were gonna bring them up there, put some chairs down. But then when it was like Friday that the notary was showing up, we said, well, we'll just sign whatever. And then Mitch Jaworski was like, he was in the green room with us while we were signing with the notary, and he's like, I should go up there and have Steve sign something. I said, well, I'm a closer, so I better go run up there and do it. So yeah. It's
And
cool.
the other thing that was cool about it is you were actually wearing the names on deeds shirt while you were putting
Yeah.
names on deeds, and then
Yeah.
while I was doing the talk, names on deeds, like
Yeah.
It was very
That was
serendipitous.
That was
can't make this
awesome.
stuff up, man. I think it's because we're all in the same mindset. We're all doing the same stuff. We're like, hey, let's just keep
Mike, you're such a
closing.
sweetheart. I was actually going to not let the I overcome me, and I was going to not claim credit for the idea. And you
My
just
brother
had
from another mother. You
I was
definitely
just like,
told
I was
me
like,
to get up there.
we should bring a document for him to sign on stage right now. I'm like, I looked at the note, like, does he need to sign something? He's like, you still got to sign this page. And I was like, Mike.
That was awesome. And
Yeah,
the
that
great
was
thing is
cool.
that Walter, you're so quick that as I came up, you knew, like you said it right away, like, oh, closing right now or something like that. It was awesome.
That was so awesome. Dude, seriously, like spontaneous stuff like that. Like I love, me, I love spontaneous. So
Yeah.
Well, that makes
fact
one
that
of
that-
us. You know, I have a very scheduled system.
Walter's like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Wow. And when it's like that,
I don't get in the way of deeds, you know?
that was
Yeah,
a
that was
home
awesome.
run. I mean, because it was just so organic. I mean, A, it makes for great content, and B, like literally, it was real. Like it was like,
Yeah.
like
Somebody,
because you think about it, someone could obviously stage that. Like the fact that it just like naturally kind of just fell into place, and then like I just looked at you, I'm like, Mike, you should.
yeah. Somebody mentioned afterwards, they were like, yeah, I was looking and I was watching you come by me in the audience, and you look so serious. And I was probably just nervous.
That's
But
you
I
at
looked
closings, Mike.
I was
Play
like,
the game.
I gotta get this done.
the closer. That's the hustle, man. I don't care if you're at an
Awesome.
event. We are closing today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I love
cool.
it.
That was
And
so
your talk
Hey,
was awesome.
the attorney who we called from Boston who did the closing, his head almost exploded when we said we were all going to be in Florida for this closing and that he'd have to get someone down there. He was like, and I'm like, he said he's been an attorney for like over 30 years in Florida. It's like, so what's the deal? But he was like,
Like,
Yeah.
dude, just send a notary to the hotel.
send a notary. Exactly. But yeah, it all worked
Act like you've been
out.
here before.
It all worked out. We closed and now we got money for the fire escapes and the sprinkler systems in our
So
boarding.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Literally
Well-
closed live at the summit. That's
Well
so
done.
epic.
And that slid Ken Hoffman's net worth up over the million, which was the
Yeah.
whole point. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it
right.
was-
Ken
it was wild.
Hoffman,
It was
Mike's
wild
first
seeing,
millionaire.
like, how many millionaires were in the room, and then how many testimonials from people who are like, oh yeah, this is how I did it, this is how I did it, this is how I did it, like, yep,
Yeah.
it's possible. And like seeing the belief start, like so many people came into the room like, well, it's not possible to become a millionaire, or like, oh, I can't do it. Like, they just came to like maybe learn how, but then they're
Oh,
talking
right.
to you guys and they're talking to the millionaires, and they're like, holy shit, like this is
Yeah.
not as
And
hard as I thought.
I gotta say, it really struck me when Bill Allen said that on Sunday morning, when he said, I'm a relatively intelligent person, right? And then I think he had Eric up on stage and said, you're relatively intelligent. If someone could teach you this, something, you would learn it. And then he said, that's what Walter's doing here. And for me, it was sort of a light bulb moment. I could feel it in the room that, it's just a simple path. It's simple, not easy. I heard that at least twice this weekend, that it's like a simple path. And if you're willing to do the steps, you're in the right room. I just kept thinking that, just kept coming back to me. You're in the right room. Not me, but I was talking about, like, because, that's my S side in the disc profile, is that I really care for the people. So I don't want people to come in, pay a bunch of money, show up, fly from all over the country and not get something. And then to just see that these people were in the right room. Like, we're the Alchemist Nation, as long as you do what you're instructed, I hate to say told, but
Do what you're told. Just
do what
follow
you're
the
told.
rules.
Right, exactly. You will have that millionaire status, and it's really not, and it's like also what Bill said, says you don't even notice it. It's just a blip on a Tuesday. That would be like a great company name. We should take that as an LLC.
Blip on a Tuesday,
wait,
Flip
there's
on a
that song.
Tuesday.
There's
Flip
that
on a
R&B song
Tuesday
going up
LLC.
on a Tuesday. We can call it going up on a Tuesday.
Mitch, add this to the rap video. This is the one.
All right,
This
we
is
got
the
so many
song.
things to add
Holy
to the rap
shit.
video.
He's in there. He's in the chat.
What's
Who's in the
up,
chat?
Bill Allen?
Eric, I see Eric's in the chat.
Eric's in the chat. I love
Eric,
it, man.
future millionaire pastor.
So
Bill
Bill,
Allen was awesome.
when he
Thank you,
said
Bill.
it was like hitting the supersonic, like, it's so funny because I would not have known anything about supersonic except the week before I happened to watch it. I was in YouTube wormholes and I saw this jet hit supersonic. I was like, I want to know what this supersonic thing is. And the guy's flying in the jet, and he's like, you literally don't know except for your radar, your altimeter, the thing that knows your
Altimeter.
altitude,
You're right.
altimeter.
You're right.
It goes like this. It just kind of, flicks over. And when Bill said it on stage, I was like, oh my God, I know exactly what he's talking about. It literally just flicks over. Like, that's
it.
That's what your millionaire status is. It's just a little tick on the day.
It's
like,
only,
your count goes anticlimactic, right? Like,
because again, hold on. This goes back to something though, right? Think about that. Because in the end, that's saying like, it's not about destination, it's about the journey or whatever. If it goes the other way, like that's true.
Yeah.
Like the journey is like like when you get to the thing, it's like you expect some crazy thing to happen. It's like, no, it's literally just a Tuesday.
Yeah, a blip on a Tuesday.
So that's why enjoy.
But I couldn't get
process.
past. Oh, sorry, I couldn't get past Bill Allen saying that his jet does 2 rolls of 720 in 1 second.
In 1 second.
And he's like, tell the other guy, he's like, oh, he wants to keep doing it. And the guy's like, hey, calm down. I'm not. I would be, my whole helmet would just be.
bro, when Bill talks about him flying jets, I'm like, hard pass. Like, I love that he loves it. I love that he's done it. I love.
You want to go for a ride?
No. Country, but I'm like, no, I don't even want to know if I can handle that. But like that's kind of the intensity he has. But he's a family man and he's so chill. But
such
like,
a great
when
story.
you see him, meet him, and hear him, you would never think his net worth 20 million. Like, you would never think like he's gone and accomplished this because he's just he pays attention to you. And Sam Prim's the same way, like, pays attention to you. And Mike, I think your talk was the same kind of vibe. Was, I know you're not going to talk about yourself, so I'll talk about you for you. You went up on stage and like you just being so honest and being like, look, this is the second time I've been on stage and I'm super uncomfortable up here. But I'm doing it, because I want you to know, like, this, like, becoming a millionaire is actually really easy and you don't have to be a great speaker. Like,
yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah.
But your slides were so good because you're from the heart. You're talking about your partners. You talk about their success, like, and you just showed like your partners. Like it was all about your partners and what they were doing and how you were just kind of like you just supported them, and that's really what it takes to become a millionaire.
I got a lot of feedback from people in the audience about that I was so transparent, and they really appreciated that. And like at the beginning, when I said I was nervous, I said, let's all do 5 breaths. And I'm really doing it for me. And people were like, I really like that. We took a breath. So yeah, it was huge. Plus, I gave out the book in Spanish, Think and Grow Rich. So I've got the Spanish contingent just loving me.
Heck yeah.
Was that intentional, or was that all you could get in Roatan?
No, I bought, when we went to the Think and Grow Rich thing out in LA, I was so inspired by the Think and Grow Rich Foundation that I came home and I bought 100 copies of Think and Grow Rich, 50 in Spanish and 50 in English, to give out to my investors. And the reason I did Spanish too was because a lot of my investors in Rhode Island and Massachusetts are actually Spanish, and as you know, I'm learning Spanish too. So there's a lot of things I felt like, wouldn't it be nice if Spanish is your native language, to read Think and Grow Rich in Spanish. So
CC amigo.
CC. Yeah, so that was pretty amazing.
And Mitch, we can't talk about epic speeches and stuff without talking about the crypto cats.
Yeah,
Amazing
crypto.
appearance. Best shoes in the event.
What about those shoes?
Yeah, like
Gotta light
clearly,
it
like
up.
nobody else knows class the way the crypto cat does. You walked on stage with shoes that had more lights than the stage, which was hard to do. So we had 3 times the lights this year. Like the sound guys, like
We're 10x the lights.
we 10x. We were like all the way. He was like, "How many lights do you want?" I was like, "All of them." Like,
Oh
whatever
my
you
God,
got,
too
bro.
many
Like, if you're not
lights.
using them, bring them.
I was like, oh my God, that stage is so bright. People can actually see me. Like, turn them down, turn them down.
So we did the big LEDs this year, the big LED monitors. I'm thinking about going like full screen all across the back next year. It's super expensive, so ticket
Full
prices will be
screen.
held. Yeah,
I'm gonna walk around like off the stage.
I
I don't want to block myself.
It's really cool. Like they were like, we can't do the IMAG, you know, where they follow you on camera on the center screen, because if we do, you get like that infinite mirror approach.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna
Turns
have
into a Michael Jackson video.
Yeah, it turns into a Michael Jackson video. So we'll have like different things on the screen on the background, so we can change the background constantly, which is wild. Just creates more experience so that everybody's like learning and locking memories. One of the new plays this year was changing the colors on the walls each day.
Yeah,
People would be
saw
able to
that.
lock in what they were learning that day. The next day was this color. The next day is that color. So it was
Somebody was, I think it was Kevin Vo was talking about the blue on day 2, that it's harder to get through day 2 with the blue than what's day 1? What was Friday? Red?
day 1 is red. So red
Yeah.
is.
I remember the
your-
red.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even remember the blue. It's like subliminal.
So we may shift the blue to purple this year. That way we're getting the same impact because we're staying that range, but we'll stay away from computer screen colors.
True.
One of the things I want to do for next year for my commitment is I want to get a video up there. So the first year was just Walter and I just did like PowerPoints, like 6 C's. This year I put some pictures of my partners up there. And next year,
Some
moving-
pictures.
all your
The
partners.
presentation was pictures of people. It was awesome.
Yeah. You were in there. I love that.
I know, it was
We
awesome.
put-
I know you had the train station picture. I was like, oh my God, there's me.
Yeah. I took the one of you with a parrot on your head out.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said, Mitch probably doesn't want that.
No, actually, you know me, I'm all about the silly. So,
But we're moving into moving pictures. So next year we get some.
dude, can you play? Oh my God, can they play a little Rush in the background when you got the
Yeah.
carousel
Oh my
pictures
God,
going?
sound.
I can
Now
moving
you're talking
pictures.
music.
Our guys
too.
can do just about anything. Like
Yeah.
whatever it takes to make the
Oh, I
event
know.
more memorable and like instill memory.
Yeah.
We're just keep leveling it up. Like this year we even use scent. Yeah, like if you notice, like there
Oh,
was
yeah,
scent
yeah.
used
Yeah.
so that we could lock in certain memories so that they'd stay there and they'd have like things to associate those moments with. So we're using as much as we possibly can so that when you
Nice.
come to the event, you actually remember and retain everything. And we're using like accelerated learning. So like locking all that in.
I loved
It's
your
really cool.
I loved your video. I know we've seen it before, but I love the video of the guy blindfolded crawling down the 100 yards. Sorry,
Can't go without it.
Spoiler alert! I just
The
ruined
great.
it.
No, well, I mean, you know, it's the
You know what I loved?
What is that
Between
from?
me-
What
Me,
movie is that?
Sam, and Bill, like we're all obsessed with the Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. Yeah, me too. Me too. I,
Yeah,
I
there was
went
a
up to,
lot of
I-
Matrix.
I went up
Heidi,
to, I went
Heidi
up
had
to
the Matrix
Bill.
jacket.
I went up to Bill afterwards and I said to him, because he says he's a real movie buff. And I said to him, have you ever seen Secret Life of Walter Mitty? And because it's like my kids are like, Dad, you're watching that freaking movie again.
Love that movie.
But that movie's amazing. But what I pointed out is that there's a moment where Ben Stiller flies to Greenland and he gets there and it's kind of a comic moment. He's like, says to the guy in the little booth, he says, do you have any cars? And he says, we have a red one. We have a red one and a blue one. And I've watched the movie so many times that it just was sort of comic relief the first couple of times. But then I realized that he has a red car and a blue car. And Ben Stiller takes the red car.
Boom! Take the
Boom.
red pill.
Red pill. Yeah. Watch
So
that
we-
movie. Secret
We gotta
Life of
jump off,
Walter
but
Mitty.
I wanted to point out like the VIP day was absolutely epic. I could
Yeah.
not believe the caliber of people we had in the day, like the VIPs, what the questions they were asking, like the shifts they were making. Then obviously dinner with Vinny was just insane, but like the VIPs themselves, like that just level of people was such a pleasure to start the event with. And then they made me want to go change some of my talks because I really got to like hang with them for all day. And then I was like, oh my God, like we got to shift this over to raising capital. Like that's really what this event is about. It's got to be, because my top level players are like, okay, like I've got these things, but now I'm looking to invest and scale more. And so we took that tone, like literally handed to me from the VIPs and took that through the rest of the event, just kind of seasoned everything with a little bit more of what the room wanted. So
I
like,
love that.
Cool.
That just reminds me of something early on when you started this thing before COVID, Walter, is that we were in the room and you said, hey, you had your whiteboard or your white pad thing. And you're like, what do you want me to talk about? And then people just kept throwing shit out. Like, yeah, I want to talk about raising money. I want to talk about getting deals. I want to do it. And we must have had like 2 pages worth of stuff. And you like turned around and said, thank you. That's my next course. It was brilliant. 'Cause you were
I
like,
told him, I was like,
people
hey,
what they want.
giving
yeah, and then
people
I just-
exactly what they want. Yeah.
and I broke it down. I said, well, what would you pay for this? You know, what would it be
Yeah.
like? And like,
Yeah.
would you want this over 1 day, 2 days, 4
Yeah.
hours? And they
Yeah.
voted for 1 day. So
cool.
I was like, all right, like, cool. That's what it costs. And it's going to be 2 weeks from now. And I'm going to deliver exactly this. I'm not going to do this one. I'm not going to do this one. I'm not going to do this one. And
Yeah.
that was-
it's awesome.
yeah,
That's a
ask the
great
people what
lesson
they
for
want.
any people who are following Walter to be a speaker, is
Yeah.
just get your small group and just ask them what they want. And then
Yeah, stop trying to be
we-
so smart and create shit that people don't want. Like, just ask your community what they want and then create that.
And Sam Prim, when I was talking to him, right? He
Yep.
said that he does TikToks, like he'll do a 30-second TikTok. And what I loved is he said every simpler the better. He said the people who do all these like effects and stuff like that, they don't get the hits. He just does a simple and does it every day and crushes it. So I just love good lesson of simplicity. Yeah.
I love his Twitter account. Like you, Mike, you're on Twitter all the time. You got to go follow him
Yep.
there too. He's
I
got,
think I-
he puts like really good information. Like his TikTok account is just fantastic. It's fun. Like it's quick. It's
Nice.
engaging. But then his
Yeah.
Twitter, he goes into like super detail of like, hey, this is actually how you buy a house with no money. Like this is the actual
Yeah.
process. And
Yeah.
so, like
He-
he puts out a lot of really good content.
I'll have to do that. I know I signed up with him on TikTok, but I'm not sure if I did it on Twitter, but I'm gonna do that. today.
One more follower.
I
Yeah.
connected with them on TikTok.
It's fucking amazing.
I'll grab
Excuse
Twitter as
my-
well.
All right, guys, I got to jump because it's time for me to go and plan out the next 100 Millionaires Summit. So,
Yay.
Mike Shine, how do we
Massive income
us
from
outta here?
passive income.
Mitch,
Sweet.
how do we do it?
We organize and collect.
Remember, the point is not to work, it's to generate income. Like, share, subscribe, and send this to somebody who you know is going to be a millionaire. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the
Always
best.
Work with the best.